All right, we're live. Welcome to the first episode of Authentic Selling Live. We got my man Kevin Hopp here joining us today. Only seemed right to have Kevin since today's session is about cold calling like a pro. Kevin, for those that maybe don't know who you are, give them a little bit of your background and why you're such a phone freak.
Ooh, phone freak. That's actually a good nickname for me. My name is Kevin Hopp. I am an outbound sales process structure and strategy consultant. I'm obsessive with phone calls. Why? Because cold calling and the phone is the fastest way to talk to your market. So you send them an email, but when are they going to respond? Are they going to respond? I'm all about now. So I help people go get now, meetings now. So it's all about process, structure, and strategy of how you get into that. I'm really excited to be here today. I think that Humantic and the approach that we're going to be testing today could potentially be like the X factor when it comes to like cold calling. So really excited to tune into this whole series, honestly, and to be here today. And this is the first time in a long time that I'm on a live where I'm not calling. So I cold call live on LinkedIn all the time. And if you follow me, you know that. So
I know it's going to be hard for you to be in the coach seat today and not in the dialing seat, but I think that at the very least, you can give some good feedback. We're going to be trying something very new, very different. I don't know, Kevin, you talk to a lot of people that do cold calling. Have you ever come across anybody who is personalizing the approach on the phone based on the person's personality that they're calling?
I have not taken that approach. So I actually advocate for my clients that we do it based on persona, right? Persona meaning, okay, you got to have a different message for a VP of customer support than a VP of marketing, than a VP of sales. But this is like another level deeper, which is like more true to like, okay, not just, okay, Collin's a VP of sales or Collin's VP of marketing, but what is Collin's actual personality, right? And I think one of the missing keys here is that people don't realize that you can access that kind of information. Like, how the heck am I supposed to know what kind of personality Collin has, right? So I hope that dovetails nicely into what is Humantic.
Yeah, so Humantic, we give personality AI insights into your prospects, so you can personalize the entire sales process, all the way from prospecting to negotiating and closing. And we're going to be testing it through cold calling today. And so what we've done is I've prepared a script. And I'll be honest, I'm a little rusty. I haven't been on the phone, so you guys are going to have to take it easy on me today. But at least I've got my coach Kevin here today. And what we did is we wrote a script. We've got our script ready, and the script is the first time we're running this script. So we may adjust it, we may adapt it, as we're going through the live here. And our friends over at Monster Connect hooked us up with a parallel dialer so that this could be as entertaining as possible for everybody that's joining us today. Typically, when I've used Monster Connect in the past, what you can expect is we're going to have anywhere from 20 to 30 conversations in 1 hour. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be adjusting my tone. I'm going to be adjusting how I frame parts of the script based on the personality type of the person that I'm calling. Now, I am calling into sales leaders to try to get conversations going around what it is that we do here at Humantic. Now, so what I've done is I've basically have 5 different buckets of people based on their personality. Now, surprise, surprise, most of the people that we're calling today as sales leaders have high dominance or D-type personalities. So our script is written in that way, and then we'll be adjusting as we call some of the other people. And then we had a small segment of people that we were not really sure. We're not sure what their personality type is. So if we have some time, we'll call those folks as well, because that's what most people are doing today, calling into people having no idea what their personality type is. All right. So without further ado,
do you want to touch on real quick, what is a D versus a whatever versus a...
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to actually, that's a great point.
What's the framework?
So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to share my screen here. And I'll give you guys a little peek of the script and just kind of some little battle card points that we have as well for these people. All right, so here's the script that we wrote here. I don't know if you can see this. Happy to share this with anybody who wants it. Just type script in the comments, and we can give you this version of script and you can make it your own. But this script is sort of written really to approach the D type. And we're trying to get into conversations, right? As Kevin likes to say, the script is just the guardrails, right? So we're trying to get into conversations. Conversations are dynamic. We don't know what's going to happen, right? And so we have some things here to follow. So for D types, we're going to use a high volume, slow speed tone. We're going to skip any BS or noise. We're going to get straight to the point with those people. They're really goal oriented people. So we're going to focus on that in the conversation. We're going to avoid small talk and any unnecessary details. So remove the fluff with D types. All right. And so we've got these tips basically for each type. And this is what we're going to follow. And this is how we're going to adjust and frame the script that we're using as we call these different personality types. And as we switch from one type to another, we'll let you know throughout the dialing session. All right. Thanks for the reminder on that, Kevin. I was just a little excited to get into the calls.
look, I think I think a lot of people who are watching right now are probably thinking, how can you tell someone's personality without meeting them? You know what I mean? And then a lot of people might not even understand that there's a whole framework for measuring personalities, right? I do, because little shout out here. Look at this. What do you think this is? This is a degree in psychology from a great university.
Yeah. Interesting.
So in my psychological studies, I learned all about this personality types.
Yeah, and just if you want a copy of this script or these sort of pointers on these different types of people, just drop script in the comments and we'll make sure that you get a copy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to hit go. So right now we're calling D types sales leaders.
D types. You know, one of my favorite things to tell my wife is, I'm basically a doctor because I have my bachelor.
Hey, John, this is Colin. My first time giving you a call here. Do you have a half a minute so I can just tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, the purpose of my call is really just to find some time on your calendar when I'm not calling you out of the blue here. Would you be available, say, like Tuesday or Wednesday next week around 10 o'clock your time? Yeah. Again, I'm calling from Humantic AI. Have you ever heard of us before by chance? Yeah. Definitely want to make sure that it's relevant. Wouldn't want to waste your time. Are you and your team there using any buyer intelligence technology, or does your team do research before prospecting, calls, discovery, and demos to help them better prepare? Correct. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Have you landed somewhere yet or not quite? Got it. Understood. All right. So yeah, probably wouldn't be relevant to you. Thanks so much for your time, John. Thanks.
Story there. Why wouldn't this be relevant to John?
Yeah. So John hasn't updated his LinkedIn. He's no longer in B2B SaaS as a sales leader. He's got his own business doing real estate. So it's just kind of solo shop there. But first time running the script, felt pretty good. We got into a conversation.
It's just like riding a bike, man. Just jump back on and start pedaling. Like you're gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it.
I wasn't sure if I'd had to bring my training wheels to the dialing session today.
You know about training wheels. You got how many kids do you have, Colin? You have 5 kids?
4 for now. Kids. No, 4. 4th and final.
4 and 1 on the way? Is that what I heard?
No. Bringing you along is like the equivalent of putting the training wheels on for a cold call session.
Dude, I'm here. Just lean on me.
I mean, you even wore the right T-shirt, right?
That's what I'm all about. When I wear these, I have a few cold calling and outbound sales shirts. When I wear these in public, I get weird looks. People are like, what? Meeting is set? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I have one from Kanan that says I'm a sales badass, and
Sales man.
the first time my son asked, what is that? What does that mean? And he said, I was like, oh, I can't wear this shirt anymore.
Yeah, right. Badass.
All right, we're dialing here. Thing I forgot to do, which is always, man, have that calendar ready, because once you get somebody, you don't want to be
Ooh.
scrambling looking for times, right?
If you were one of my BDRs, I'd make you do push-ups right now. Gotta
I'd
be
be
ready.
okay with that.
You got to be ready before you make your dial session. We got to have our script open. We got to have our CRM open, a place where we can see any history or what's going on. We got to have LinkedIn open. Now, that's another one that I'll touch on here. A training point, right? Have
Yeah.
LinkedIn open at all times, and folks will say to me like, "Oh, I didn't know we were doing LinkedIn today. I thought we were calling." Well, as soon as you connect with someone on the phone, open their LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
Open their LinkedIn right away. That way you can see what they look like. You can see their vibe. You can see, where they work, where they used to work. You can see what city they're in. You can see so much about them. As long as
Oh,
they keep
yeah.
up to date, unlike that last guy.
I mean, I like to have their LinkedIn link as, one of the pieces in,
Oh, yeah.
whatever tool that you're using. Like we're using Monster Connect. We've got the LinkedIn ready. Have your Humantic Chrome extension ready.
Yes,
Right? Once you hit
absolutely.
that LinkedIn profile, get yourself some good insights.
And quick shout out to the Humantic LinkedIn Chrome extension. If you guys haven't tried it, you guys haven't looked at this, like, go try it out. I believe there's a free trial, right, for everybody when you first sign up.
Hey, John, this is Colin. First time giving you a call here, but do you have like half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, this is Collin Mitchell. Purpose of my call was really just to find time on your calendar when I'm not calling you out of the blue like I am today here. Would you be free like Tuesday or Wednesday next week around 10 a.m.? Yeah, I'm calling from Humantic. Yeah, uh, I'm calling from Humantic AI. Have you ever heard of us before? Yeah, definitely want to make sure it's relevant. Wouldn't want to waste your time here, John. Are you using any buyer intelligence technology, or does your team do research before prospecting calls, discovery, and demos to help them better prepare for those calls? Yeah, hmm yeah. Sure. Does that tool give you information on your prospects or anything like that, or is it just LinkedIn stuff? Yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm definitely happy to send you over an email, with some information here. But, do you think that, having information on your buyers or knowing, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Wow. That's got to be pretty frustrating. I feel your pain. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. What's the best email for you? Mhm. Okay. Appreciate your time, John. I'll go ahead and send that over. Yeah. Appreciate it. All right. Have a good rest of the day, John. Appreciate it. Take care. All right. So we got into a conversation there. Um, interesting situation. Recently signed a contract for some software that's not working out too well. So he's like, yes, we need something like this, but just the timing's really bad because we're stuck in this. And I honestly could not affect any change right now. So got into a conversation um, and took some good notes, learned a lot of things, and can follow up with that one in the future. Can't hear you, Kevin.
My bad. Minor detail there. My dog was barking, so I muted.
Oh,
Seems like you got a big talker, big fish on
yeah.
the hook.
A high D personality. Surprise, surprise.
So D personalities are going to be people that are going to chat more than others.
Yeah, but also very, very, very direct. Very direct. No BS. Gave it to me straight. Hey, this sounds great. I know we need this, but I can't do anything. Hey, Blair, this is Collin Mitchell here. First time giving you a call, but do you have like half a minute so I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, purpose of my call really was just to find time on your calendar when I'm not calling you out of the blue here. Would you be available, say, like Tuesday or Wednesday next week around 10 your time? Yeah, yeah. I'm calling from Humantic AI. Have you ever heard of us before? Yeah, definitely want to make sure it's relevant. Don't want to waste your time. Are you using any buyer intelligence technology, or does your team do research before prospecting calls, discovery, and demos to help them better prepare? Yeah, no, the tools. Yeah, the tools that you're using today, do they help you surface exactly? Oof, got my first hang up.
Ooh, what was the
Do,
objection?
he's like, we've got so many AI tools and intent tools and technology tools. We're not buying any more tools.
Interesting. Yeah. So that might be that might be something that you test in the script instead of
Yeah,
saying Humantic AI, just calling it Humantic, right?
yeah,
So I have an example, right? So I have a client where I'm coaching the BDR team, and the client's uncommon giving. And when we said uncommon giving in the intro in the first 20 seconds, we got way more hangups. And I said, let's cut out the giving, just call it uncommon. And the curiosity went through the roof, and we got people listening. and all of a sudden the conversation rate went up dramatically. And then you drop the full name. Once they're like in, they're listening, and they're like, okay, yeah, what's this all about? All right. Then you say, I'm with a company called Uncommon Giving.
Now, the interesting thing is guy seemed kind of busy, I could hear kind of a lot going on, and I took the bait and went for the call anyway. I could have played that differently and just bailed and say, hey, sounds like you're super busy. I can call you back at a better time. And it just could have went better because he didn't really give me a good reason that he's not interested. Like, I would definitely call that person back, catch him on a different day, might be able to actually get into a conversation.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like that suggestion, dropping the AI, just because, I think just saying Humantic leaves it a little bit more mysterious and will create a little bit more curiosity.
That's right. And one of the things that you want, so like our friend, remember our friend Kyle Shannon? He used to call, shout out Kyle Shannon. He used to call with a company that had CRM in the name.
Yeah.
And when he would call and say the company name, the first thing out of everybody's mouth is, dude, we got a CRM. I'm not changing my CRM. Like thinking about, like, immediately.
That's major change management, right?
Yeah. And people would just stop him right then and there. And I was trying to tell him the same thing, like, cut off the CRM part. Just say like the first part of the name. Don't even say CRM. Because that category language, people want to throw you into a bucket right away and say, I'm good.
Yeah, they're looking for any reason to say, no, I'm not interested.
That's right. And one of the concepts that I go over a lot in my cold calling course and coaching and stuff, free coaching for everyone out there, a concept to avoid is the false negative.
What the heck's a false negative, Kevin?
False negative. False negative is what a lot of you callers probably run into all the time, which is I call Colin within the first 30 seconds of the call. I get I'm not interested. We're all good. We're set. And they hang up the phone right away. Now, is that person really completely set? Are they solving the business challenges that I exist to help people solve? I don't know. We didn't get into it. We didn't have a conversation. The false negative is what you get hit with when someone's actually just busy and they throw you into a category in their head right away without knowing anything about you, without ever really understanding why you're calling. It's just that you're an interruption and you're a cold caller, and they're like, I don't want to take a cold call right now. So they tell you, I'm not interested.
And what they're really telling you is not that they're not interested in what it is that you do. They're not interested in talking to you right now.
That's right. And it's a major difference. So fighting against the false negative with good process and structure with your scripting will get you a much higher conversation rate. The higher your conversation rate, the higher the ability to set meetings, right? You just want people talking. You want to get people talking.
All right. Shout out to Jack joining us. And we got Dave.
Jack Knight, my boy Jack Knight. Howdy. How we doing?
Let's see. So far, we've been dialing for not too long here. Let's see what the stats are. So far we've made 52 dials. We've had 3 conversations. And with one conversation, we had a kind of follow up later, but no meetings booked so far. 52 dials, 3 conversations. So for every 17 dials, we're having a conversation. Hey, Jeff, this is Collin Mitchell here. This is actually my first time giving you a call. Do you have like half a minute? I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you. Yeah, so I'm actually calling from Humantic. Have you ever heard of us before? Oh, that's strange. I don't know why that would be the case, but look, I'm not sure if this would be relevant to you, and I definitely don't want to waste your time. But I was just curious if you and your sales team are using any buyer intelligence technology, or does your team do research before prospecting calls, discovery, and demos to better help them prepare for those calls? Yeah, what are you guys using today? Are you using like a Zoom Info, or do they just kind of do research on their own? Oof, got another hang up. So
Wait. Are they hanging up and they're saying like I'm not interested, or are we just gonna double tap?
no. We got into it, and I think there's a little bit of hang up where in the script where we're saying buyer intelligence technology, they're kind of like, yeah, we're all set, right? Kind of similar to like CRM, right? So,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's a bit of a misleading question. Like we know they're using something today, right? So we might need to rework that a little bit. Any thoughts, Kevin?
That might be worth looking at. Yeah.
Let's see. So, any feedback from anybody who's, I know Dale said, maybe we should kill that part. People in the audience that make cold calls are avid cold callers. Any suggestions on how we can tweak that part of the script? Kevin, you have any thoughts?
This is something that we talked about right before we hopped on, where I said buyer intelligence is a bit of an emerging category, right? So I think because it's an emerging category, it's not something really well defined in the modern tech stack. They're going to throw buyer intelligence into the wrong bucket right away.
Yeah.
They're not going to be inquisitive.
We could go more vague and just say, hey, do you have a solution in place, or is your team doing, manual research before prospect? Hey, John, this is Collin Mitchell here. It's actually my first time giving you a call, but do you have like half a minute so I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, purpose of the call was just to find some time on your calendar when I'm not calling you out of the blue to introduce my company to you. Are you available, say, like Tuesday or Wednesday next week around 10 your time? Yeah, I'm calling from Humantic. Have you ever heard of us before? Yeah, so what we do is definitely want to make sure this is relevant. I wanted to see if you and your team have anything in place today, a solution in place, or if you guys are doing manual research to prepare for prospecting calls, discovery, and even demos. All right. He's not the right person. He's more of an individual contributor, not a build report. Yeah. All right. So we got some feedback here from the audience, who says, "Skip the buyer intelligence and go. What do you do to build rapport and personalize?" Yeah. Let's give that a shot. Let's give that a whirl. All right. Here we go. So let's see. I'm going to try to rewrite this a little bit while we wait for our next call.
Always a good idea to edit the actual script, right? So this is one of the other like really key learning moments, right? The idea that some reps that I work with are old-fashioned. They say, "Hey, I'm going to print out the script," and I'm never a fan of that. I always try to get them not to print out the script because the script should evolve and change over time. And if you're just like manually crossing it out and writing, kind of an issue, right? So Google Docs is all you need. It's a free tool, and it is perfect for having your script open. Also, a huge advocate on the process side. You got to have two windows, right? You got to have two screens going. That's the optimal setup for any sales development rep or anyone making outbound calls.
All right, so we're going to go with what is your team doing today to better personalize and build rapport with your prospects for prospecting calls, discovery, and even demos? What do you think of that?
I like that. I like that a lot. Let's do that. I want them to lean forward and say, "Well, what do you mean for demos? Or what do you mean?
To the
That's
demo.
the
Yeah.
idea. Let's get them leaning forward.
So Jack's saying, "Hey, straight to the demo, bold." Yeah. So that's by design, right? So most people, when you call them, they aren't paying attention to you. So we ask for that meeting right away, which we really aren't going for the meeting there. It's just to catch their attention and get them to lean in, so we can actually get them to engage in the conversation. So we're not just talking at them.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of that method, Kevin?
Huge fan. Huge fan. Conversations are king. They are absolutely king.
All right, so we tweaked the script here. I think we're going to keep calling D's here for a little while, and then we might switch to a different personality type. Anybody have any preference of what type of people they'd like us to call next? Dealer's choice. Or Kevin, if nobody wants to
Why
speak
don't we
up.
try the opposite? What's the opposite of a D?
We could go with like a, we could go with probably like an I or something like that. Or I think we had, those lists are much smaller. Not surprised, but calling into sales leaders, I think about 75% of the lists were D types.
Huh.
Ryder says call S type, risk averse. Yeah, we can call some S's. There's only a few on the list, but we can call those next. Probably get through them really quick. I also have a theory here that's yet to be proved, but I believe that there's only certain types of people that you're actually going to have good conversations on the phone with, right? So, we may call one type and we may get nobody to pick up, or we might just really struggle. I'm still want to prove that through the data as we do more of these, right? We'll start to see more patterns, but there might be, if we start to study this a little bit more, we might start. Hey, Lindsay, this is Collin Mitchell here. It's actually my first time giving you a call, but do you have like half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling? Lindsay, you there? We're going to redial. Double tap.
Double tap. What is the double tap called?
What is the double tap? Where we're going. Hey, Lindsay, this is Collin here. Just gave you a call. I think we had a bad connection. I've been having problems all day. Did I catch you at a good time here? I know I'm calling you a bit out of the blue and just wanted to tell you exactly why I was calling. Yeah, sure. I could do that. Not. Sometimes people get a little bit upset when you call their cell phone, but that's okay. That's just
Wow.
part of the game.
Talk about living in 2019. Can you imagine being upset someone hit your cell phone?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
what other phone is there? Like, let me call your landline. Like, what's your home telephone number?
She said, remove me off your list. Don't call my cell phone. I hung up. So it's like, sure. But I love when they say like, why, how did you get this number? Or why are you calling this is my personal line? And it was, oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry. Is there a better number to reach you at?
Yeah. I was trying to actually have a conversation.
Hey, Barbara, this is Collin Mitchell here. This is actually my first time giving you a call here. But do you have like half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Hey, no problem. I can definitely try you back at a better time. She was in a meeting. I'm not going to try to get engaged into a conversation when she says she's in a meeting.
That's the other hot take that a lot of people disagree with. A lot of people think that if they say they're in a meeting, just like blow through that. Like, oh, well, you just have 10 seconds.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm trying to have a conversation.
Leads to the false negative because they're going to tell you, they're going to listen, they're going to be like, yeah, what is this? And they're listening just to tell you, we're good. Yep. Not interested.
Yep.
Immediately. And you're like, oh, shoot. Darn. Dang tootin'.
Yeah. Brett has an interesting thought here. He says, best time of day to call a D type. I was always more successful
Ooh.
first thing in the mornings. Yeah, I agree with that. So I think the audience has put some comments in here, and I think that after we maybe rip through a few more dials here, we're going to switch to S type. So kind of differences, right? Your D types, we're going high volume, slow speed. We're skipping any BS, getting straight to the point. These are goal oriented people. The landmines that we avoid with D types is small talk or unnecessary details. So like just no fluff. If we switch over to an S type, we're going to go low volume, slow speed, give them space, and we're not going to rush them. And so those are some of the things that we're going to how we're going to change how we approach the script.
I like it.
Do you like asking? All right, so Jack's got a comment here. Do you like asking for permission? Do you have half a minute? Is that crucial, or does it open the door for them to say no? I'm a big fan of permission-based openers. I'm not like, I don't have sort of a hard set rule of you have to use them. I think you got to do what's most comfortable for you, where you can be most confident. I don't think the opener is as important as like the tone and the speed. And actually, when we get into conversations with people, how we handle those based on their personality type. But I'm also open to changing up the opener. Some people, okay, so we've actually called through all of our D types here. So we're going to switch our list and we're going to go to S types, where this list is quite a bit smaller, but we're going to switch it up here. So we're going to go low volume, slow speed, give them space, right? So what does that mean? Like we're going to pause, we're going to pause and we're going to let them respond. We're not going to, try to talk over them. We're not going to talk too fast. We're not going to try to be too aggressive, because that's just going to work against us.
I think this is fascinating if it works. if actually changing it, because so here's the
I might actually change the opener with the S type.
That'd be a good idea. But
Yeah.
the thing that I'm really curious about, the thing that's unique about cold calling is whether you're a D, an S, an I, whatever, you're still getting interrupted. So are you catching this person in the most pure reflection of their personality? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
you act differently under stress. Like everyone acts differently under stress.
Hey, Josh, this is Collin Mitchell here. First time giving you a call. Do you have like half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, it sounds like I actually caught you at a bad time. Would you prefer I call you back at a better time? Okay, no problem. I've got 4 kids myself, so I totally understand. Reason I was really calling you here, Brett, was to introduce my company to you, Humantic, when I'm not calling you out of the blue. Just wanted to see if you were available maybe sometime next week, either Wednesday or Thursday or around 10 o'clock your time. Yeah, so I'm just curious, if you and your team are, doing anything to better personalize and build rapport with prospects, before prospecting calls, discovery calls, and even demos. Yeah. So I mean, like, are your reps? Yeah, are your reps doing any research? Do you have any tools in place that are helping you with that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're getting like technographics and maybe some intent stuff and stuff like that. Yeah. But anything like on the actual people, right? Like who you're reaching out to, because that's what we do here at Humantic is we help you better understand the people, right? So you can better personalize the entire sales process. And I know I'm calling you out of the blue, but I'd love to get 20 minutes on your calendar, talk to you a little bit of how this is helping other companies that we're working with, and see if it's something that could fit in your tech stack. Yeah. Yeah. So we got end of month next week. So would the week of the 7th or the 14th be better for you? Sure. All right. I don't want to hit you on a Monday, so how about we do the 15th? And let me just be sure here. What time zone are you in? Okay. So how about like 10:30 Mountain on the 15th? Does that work? Okay, awesome. And then what's the best email for you? Okay, awesome. I'll send that over right now. Thanks for your time, Josh. All right, take care. Boom.
Let's go. Woo!
So
boy.
I want to touch on one thing there. Like the most important thing was shout out to the founder of Humantic who gave us that piece there, the change out, because it worked really well. It worked really well, especially with his type. And I think what worked really well in the call from the beginning was I felt that he was busy and I gave him an out. He was like, "No, it's fine. I'm hands free. I'm in the car." Like, and I learned that more important than booking the meeting. Like, I learned a ton on that call. Learned a ton about they're implementing a new software right now. They're wrapping up the quarter. Things are going well. I learned 4 to 5 tools that they're currently using, which none of those do what it is that we do. So, and when I dropped that line of building rapport and personalizing the entire sales process, he was super intrigued. He's like, no, we're not doing any, no, we don't have anything that does that. So that is, sometimes you just got to write the script, get on the call and test things out, right? Because that's how you learn if the messaging needs to be tweaked.
Yep. I mean, it's something that I see you talk about a lot, Colin, on LinkedIn, which is there's no replacing the action. A lot of people say, "Oh, I gotta learn. I gotta follow all these influencers on LinkedIn. I gotta see all the best tips and tricks." Dude, put the rubber to the road. Make some freaking calls. Send some emails. You have to be taking action. Sales development in general just doesn't happen for you, right? Outbound sales by definition is action. You got to make the calls. You got to send the emails. We have to be putting the rubber to the road. And if you're not using multiple channels, you are simply going to miss out. It's that easy. You're going to miss out on a lot of your target markets. You got to use multiple channels. Phone is the fastest. Let's be clear.
Yeah. And the thing that's great about the phone is that instant feedback loop, right? If you sent hundreds of emails with that first type of messaging that we were using, nobody replies, But if you call and you use that message and it doesn't work after a few dials, you change it. The phone can help you also scale every other channel more efficiently once you really nail the messaging that that's resonating with these different types of people.
Yeah.
All right. So number one rule when you book a meeting, make sure you get that thing on the calendar right away, because you never know what's going to happen between now and your call block, or who knows. Take good notes, all that good stuff. So qualified, and we got that for the 14th and done. And you notice one thing that I changed there, right, was even in the beginning when I asked for that meeting, I asked for it a little bit later rather than sooner. and also gave him some space, to wrap up his month. And hey, I don't want to put this on a calendar on a Monday. Why don't we do it on Tuesday? Those are all things that I adapted to based on his personality type.
Interesting. The Monday, not Tuesday thing. Where did you come up with that? Like, where did that come?
Oh, giving him time and space, right? So I could have easily just thrown it on there, but it was easier to get him to commit by asking for it on a Tuesday than a Monday, not end of month. All of those factors. So unfortunately, we've already ripped through all of the S types in our list. All right. What do you, Kevin, your choice. We've called D types, we've called S types. So we've got I and C, and then we have a mixed bag of a small chunk of people that we have no idea what they are.
Interesting. I'd rather go with one of the ones where we know what they are.
All right.
Test what we know as opposed to going into the mixed bag. Just yet.
All right. So anybody in the audience, any preference of who we call next?
What do you guys think?
Hit us in the comments. We're going to sit here in awkward silence till somebody gives us something.
Yo, fun fact, in high school, I was in a rock band, and the name of my rock band was Awkward Silence. Fun fact.
Huh?
What, you don't believe me, Colin?
I'm sure you've got proof somewhere.
You don't believe that I was in a rock band? That's your boy.
Is that really you in high school?
Right here. Not here. But this is me.
No, I know,
yeah.
but you look more like a middle schooler.
What? Yeah, I guess this is freshman year.
All right.
Freshman year.
All right, we're going for I-type.
One day, I'm going to quit all this business and cold calling stuff and go back to being a rock star.
Go back to being a rock star, huh?
Yeah. Shit. I'm going to hit this up later.
All right, so with I-type, we're going to go high volume, slow speed. These are a little bit more emotional people, so feelings, not facts, is their mantra. And the magic lever for these people is friendliness, okay? Landmines that we want to avoid is being transactional, okay? Hey, Michael, this is Collin Mitchell here. It's actually double tap.
Double tap.
High energy, social stories, easy calls. All right, let's do it. Hey, Michael, this is Collin Mitchell here. I think we just had a bad connection there. I'm actually calling you here for the first time, but do you have half a minute so I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, is this Michael? Hey, Michael, this is Collin over at Humantic. This is my first time giving you a call. Have you ever heard of us before? Yeah, no problem. Hey, I can definitely do that and call you back at a better time. Yeah, he sounded super busy, and he was open to me calling him back, but not open to having a conversation right now.
Okay, that happens.
Yeah, but if you take good notes, call him back, right? Then it's a warmer call next time on the follow up, right? Because how many salespeople actually do what they say they're going to do?
Very few. So the difference between a good salesperson, a really good salesperson, and an average salesperson is a good salesperson does what they say they're going to do and they follow up, right? And I think it's one of the nature of sales development is always like, what's next, right? Like BDRs have a monthly quota, they set meetings, and then they have to set more meetings, and I get it, right? But fat stacks in the circle bags is something that I always say, right? As you like, the hardest part of any sales development job should be the first like 2 to 3 months, because you're doing mostly ice cold outreach.
Yeah.
Build that follow-up list up to a point where you should be getting, and here's the math for you. You should be getting 40 to 60%, anywhere in that range, of your meetings from follow-ups. And I mean, this is not the first time you've talked to this person.
Yeah.
Right? Timing is the confounding factor in all of this. Just because you call me on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday does not mean right now is a good time for me to book a meeting. But if I call you next week after I sent you that email, which I told you I was going to send, that shows consistency, you stand out, and you're giving your prospect time, right? And sales development is just the art and science of getting in front of the right people at the right time with the right message. And that's what we're working on today.
Yeah. And I think that, like you said, and like Elliot said here, right? The art is in the follow-up, right? Because so many people just put it as a callback, don't send the email, call back. And then, any possibility of building trust or rapport with your prospect by not doing what you said you're going to do. And then you can even use, Humantic to even personalize the way that you send that message. So it's really going to resonate with that person. But I think where a lot of people get caught up is they go into a cold calling block with the wrong expectation, right? The expectation is not to book meetings. That's a result of having conversations, right? The goal is like, can you get in? Can you have some fun? Can you have some conversations? Can you learn some things? Can you refine your list? Can you test your messaging? Those are all things that are positive that can come out of a call block. And most of your meetings are going to happen in the follow-up through email, sending people what it is that they want to see, calling them back, all of those things like you mentioned.
Yep.
So interesting enough here. We've been calling through the I types,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, James, this is Collin Mitchell here. It's actually my first time giving you a call. Do you have half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Hey, no problem. Definitely sounds like a bad time. I'm happy to call you back at a better time. All right, take care. So he's getting ready for a wedding. Not a good time for a cold call. But
who gets married on a Thursday?
I don't know. I mean, I think you get discounts if you go non-weekend.
I mean, non-weekend, sure. I can see a Friday evening, maybe.
Or he just
I got married on a Sunday. Wasn't everyone's favorite choice, but it was cheaper for us.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he's just knows what to say to get somebody that's cold calling him off the phone.
Maybe. But funny enough, last week, I was shadowing one of my clients, and the guy said, "Hey, I'm preparing for my daughter's rehearsal dinner for her wedding right now. I can't talk." I was like, that was so specific, but also hot follow-up, right?
Yeah.
First thing out of your mouth on that next week is,
Hey, Joel, this is Collin Mitchell here. This is actually my first time giving you a call, but do you have a half a minute so I can tell you exactly why I called you today? He hung up, said, I do not have time. Please email me.
It's interesting. It's interesting that a lot of people ask for emails.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I would have followed that up with, hey, I'd love to send you an email, but, been doing this a while. Typically, when people say to send an email, usually means one of two things. There's something really specific that they'd like to see before having a conversation, or they're just being nice and trying to get rid of me. Which one is it for you? But he didn't even give me the chance. He was like, no, I'm busy. Send me an email. Click. But I'm starting to feel like maybe I types are just not, they're just not phone people.
I don't know. We have like 3 or 4 examples. I don't think we're ready for that.
No, I'm talking about, we've been, typically with Monster Connect, you're getting a conversation every couple of minutes. Once we switch to the I type, it's just ripping through and not a lot of connects are happening.
Interesting. It might be the case.
Fat stacks in the circle backs. Dude, you got to get that on a t-shirt. We've got to get that on a t-shirt in the.
Well, I didn't coin the phrase.
Hey, Michael, this is Colin over at Humantic here. This is my first time giving you a call, by the way. Do you have like half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Yeah, so not sure if this would be relevant. Definitely don't want to waste your time at all. But I was just curious if you and your team, you and your sales team there today, what you guys are doing to better personalize and build rapport with your prospects for prospecting calls, discovery, and even demos. Wrong point of contact there. Which happens occasionally when you're calling mobiles, right? Especially when somebody has a super common name.
Yeah.
He said he was a truck driver. So, yeah, probably not relevant, Michael. Probably not relevant. Wrong point of contact. All right. So we got about 5 minutes left, folks. Thanks for everybody who's been hanging out with us. Tons of feedback, tons of comments in here. Really appreciate everybody. If you're curious about, personality AI, buyer intelligence, you want to try this yourself in your own sales process, just go check out humantic.ai. You can sign up for a free 21-day trial. If you have any questions about any of that stuff, or how to actually put this into any business applications, I'm here to help. I'm the chief evangelist here for Humantic AI.
Shout out to Humantic as well. You don't have to be a cold caller to use Humantic. The Chrome extension is awesome. It tells you, if you go to a profile on LinkedIn, it'll tell you the type of language and wording you should be using in an email as well, which is incredible. I mean, how many people are watching this send one-off sales emails? Everybody does, right? You see that perfect prospect and you're like, shoot, my database doesn't have a number for them, or I've called them, they don't pick up their phone. Personalize that email using Humantic's insights, and Humantic gives you like the wording you should be using, which is awesome.
Or not using.
Or not using, which is just as important. Let's be real. It's just as important.
Yeah. I mean, a perfect example is like some people, I love using this example because I think a lot of people can relate to it if they're even on either side of it. Like some people just hate bullet points. Some people love them. If you send them information, that's their preferred communication style. They're going to process that information better. But if you sent an email to a person with a bunch of bullet points, because maybe you're a person who likes bullet points and they aren't, that email could sit in their inbox for weeks, days, could stall your deal, could even kill your deal just over a small detail.
Very true. Very true. Man, Dialer's ripping, huh?
Yeah. So we're just kind of wrapping up here. We have a few minutes. Let's take a look at the stats here and see. So, hey, Chad, this is Collin Mitchell here. This is actually my first time giving you a call. But do you have half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you? Chad hung up. So what are we going to do?
Double tap, baby. Double tap.
Always.
It's important to note, everybody, when you double tap, watch what Collin says, the first thing that he says. He's not going to pick up. But the first thing you mention on a double tap callback is not going right into your normal pitch. You make it about the phone. Everybody has phone issues. Everybody's got hangups and all that stuff. You will be surprised. Probably 70% of the time, that person did not mean to hang up on you, right? For whatever reason, and the call just disconnected. So always, always, always say,
hey, Ryan, this is Collin Mitchell here. It's actually my first time giving you a call. But do you have like half a minute and I can tell you exactly why I'm calling you today? Yeah, purpose of my purpose of my call really was to call to introduce my company to you, Humantic, when I'm not calling you out of the blue here. Would you be available like next week, Wednesday or Thursday around 10 o'clock your time? So what we do is we help you better personalize and build rapport with your prospects before prospecting, discovery, and demos. Yeah, I mean, what it is we do is, fairly new. So if we spent, maybe 20 minutes together, we can, decide if it's something that would be useful in your tech stack or not. Okay. So you is Tuesday or Thursday better for you next week? Okay, you got it. And 10:30 your time on Thursday. I'll send that over. All right, take care. Boom.
2 meetings? Is that 2 meetings?
He was busy, but he was super intrigued in what it is that we do. He said, we've kind of looked at something like that in the past. We didn't move forward with it, but I'm definitely interested to see what you got.
Incredible.
So,
Love that. Good job. Well done. That's what you want to see right there.
all right. Well, just at the buzzer, baby.
Dude, buzzer beater.
So that is going to be qualified for next Thursday. Take the notes there. All right. Thank you, everybody who is hanging out with us. We're going to be doing more of these sessions around different topics. Some will be about cold calling, some will be about emailing, discovery, demo, building relationships, all kinds of different things here. So this is a regular series, Authentic Selling Live, that we'll be doing. We'll have more awesome guests, just like Kevin Hopp, who joined us today. And just to give you, if you want a copy of that script and sort of the battle cards that we had for each personality type, happy to share that. Just drop script in the comments. We'll share that with you. If you want to check out Humantic yourself, just go to humantic.ai, sign up for a free 21-day trial, and put it to the test. And if you have any questions, either myself or somebody on the team is happy to help you. I'm just going to check Monster Connect here real quick to just see what the final stats are so that we can give you that and close things off here. Let's just refresh. So, a little under an hour of dialing here. We were able to do 207 dials. We had 15 conversations. So that means for every 13 dials, we had a conversation. We booked 2 meetings and had one person who said to email some information. So that's a wrap. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you on the next session.